initiative check.
Yep, booting up.
I'm just loving that Ian's just frozen, just there eating.
Oh god, that's funny.
Hold on, I gotta go see now.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. Oh, where's my mouse? I'm gonna
Okay,
see.
I'm gonna mute myself on Discord, and then you guys can just like one by one, like do the count to 5.
All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
You gotta do it slower.
No.
25.
Business time.
Just talk normal. The whole point is just so it's consistent sound. You guys going slower actually makes
1,
it
2,
harder.
3, 4, 5.
Freaking trolls. Levi, you need to turn yourself up. Cody will need to have you turned up just a tad.
Ooh, how do I
Curse
turn
my
myself
mumbling voice.
up?
Hear my children in the background.
I don't hear nothing.
I can't hear him.
Good, we moved them. They're now in a different room, not for the stream,
All right,
for
I turn
other
myself
reasons.
up
You
1
banished them.
decibel. Is that better? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I'd say a little bit more for you.
Okay.
A little bit louder now.
1 more decibel.
And turn me down a little bit.
All the decibels.
But you sound fine. Oh, in order to turn you down, everyone has to see your face. Okay. Oh shit. There we go.
Oh shit. Yeah, my audio's coming through louder than everyone.
All right, how's that?
One, two, three, four, 5.
Sounds good on the
Turn
stream.
me down just a tad, and Cody, say something.
Hey, it's me, Cody.
Okay, we should be good.
Okay.
Bueno.
Are you still eating? Do you need frozen picture up
Yeah,
there?
you should
still?
freeze me.
There you go.
That's awesome. So
I mean,
much,
that's
so much power.
Zero needs to have like frozen pictures of all of us just to be like, hey, I'm gonna eat for like 10 minutes.
I'm stepping away. Oh gosh, that's awesome. All right, well, we can get started.
Let's go.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Adventure with Advantage, episode 26. So previously, the party had set up camp as they journeyed towards Sailport. Casimir had a vivid dream about the city of Zakul that left him feeling quite uneasy. The party soon awoke and found that Levi had a message from Groggard. Groggard told them that he had a lead in Sailport about illegal creatures being brought to Sailport and sold from the island of Rhivónia, the land of giants. They soon set out and eventually arrived in Breakwater, a small village near the edge of the Valewood. They stayed in the tavern there for the night, where Levi entertained the crowd with some music. After a few drinks, Levi cast polymorph on Steelscar, turning him into a rabbit. After some fun and shenanigans, they rested for the night and set out the next day. They eventually arrived at Dead Man's Pass, where they prepared to encounter some harpies, which they were warned about from a group of adventurers back in Breakwater. Sure enough, as they crossed the pass, they were attacked, but the party's wax earplugs and Elomir's fey ancestry helped them overcome the harpy's song, until Steelscar eventually was charmed. He walked off the pass, beginning to fall about 100 feet into the water below. Levi was able to cast Featherfall on him, and he was also able to kill the final harpy, freeing Steelscar from its charm. Steelscar summoned his wings and flew back to the party, quite embarrassed and frustrated he had fallen to the harpy's song yet again. They made camp for the night and eventually continued their journey and arrived at the city of Sailport. So that is where we will begin.
Let me rephrase this. I'm upset that you forced my hand.
To use your wings.
Yes.
Hey,
It's
man.
fine. They're back now. It's fine. It's fine.
So you had a sandwich and you're good to go. All right, so you guys find yourself standing on a small overlook as you gaze at the city of Sailport. If you remember from last session, I'd said that you saw an very odd sight. So basically, the town is in tiers. It's kind of like a lower tier, middle tier, and upper tier. And on the upper tier, you just see this giant, like, shell-looking thing. It's huge. None of you have ever really seen anything like this. And it just kind of sits atop the tallest part of the city, kind of just overlooking everything. And you can just see some ships kind of moving in and out of port as you guys are standing there. The sun beginning to like set as you guys have journeyed to get here to this point. So you guys follow the path towards Sailport. As you draw closer, you see small houses and shops scattered about just beyond the city walls. Many of the buildings are in disarray, broken windows, holes in the roofs. The people you see look like they're wearing tattered clothes, worn out shoes, but everyone seems busy doing something. As you get closer to the walls, they're large. You see they're made of a combination of wood and metal. The gate is a large portcullis made of a dark metal. And you guys currently stand at the entrance of the city of Sailport. What would you like to do?
What kind of
Can I
metal is
just
this
say-
gate?
Oh, go for it.
What kind of metal?
Yeah, I want to know what kind of metal.
You're not certain. You could certainly roll.
Yeah, what should I roll?
I
A
would
geology
just
check?
yeah, I would just say maybe a nature check. Maybe.
For rocks.
Sure.
Nature. I have +1. 18.
Wow. It seems to be some sort of iron or something, or it's just kind of darker. Yeah, nothing particularly fancy, just very heavy.
Also,
That's-
can I just say the detail on this map is pretty freaking dope.
Yeah, it is. It's
Oh
really
yes, my
detailed.
Sailport map. Thank you.
See a little
Dude,
green up there.
You even got little clouds on it.
I do. So anyone wondering, I use a website called Incarnate for my maps, and I love it. It's so good for making maps. So, anyways, so you guys are currently the southern end, near the area that called the Slip. So that's where you guys currently are.
Cool. Well, shall we go explore? Maybe find out what's going on in town?
That's a great idea. I will keep my shopping list ready.
Okay.
I guess Levi, who were we supposed to meet here?
We don't really have a contact, but all I know is that there was someone in this town that can make magical objects pretty awesomely, and you know, hopefully we can run into them. That was my original shopping idea.
It was like
Then-
14 episodes ago.
I think it was more than that, but okay, yeah, about that. And you know,
Probably like 20.
yeah, Groggard also asked us to investigate some stuff, which we're not going to talk about out in the open.
Fair enough.
Well, I say we go in. Levi, I guess you take points in here since you know what we need.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let's do this. Let's
All right.
go, team.
Is there anywhere in particular you guys are headed, or just entering into town?
I'm following Levi.
Okay.
I mean, are there guards, or is that not this kind of?
So
place?
it is. Again, it's a little. It's sun's kind of starting to go down, but no, it is quite busy. You see people moving about. Like as you guys are kind of like just standing there in the doorway, trying to kind of talking. People are like walking past you, kind of brushing against you, like hitting you, and like keep moving, and just.
I'm holding my
lot of
money
people.
tightly.
Okay. All right.
I
Holding
am-
onto it tightly.
I am making
I'm-
Grab
sure
your coin
that I'm not
first
getting
and-
pickpocketed.
Oh, my money's in my bag of holding, so we good.
They could steal the
And
bag of
I've,
holding.
and I've had 2 pouches from the start, so I have like 20 copper in my outer pouch, and then the one inside my belt.
Okay. He's doing a
Just
thing where
another
like he has like the $5 bill on the outside of the surrounding the $100 bill.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, there's that one city that what was the one? Steel Scar, the one we were both enlisted from.
Oh shit!
I'm forgetting.
I forget my
I'm good
backstory.
zero.
Did you forget where you enlisted at?
No,
It was such a world. They got me so drunk in order to convince me that it was worthwhile.
Oh. I just thought, the war effort took you away and just changed you. Made you lose those repressed memories or something.
As you guys are just talking, people are bumping into you. Wagons are rolling by.
Do I need to
Ilum,
cast
there we go. It was
Liam's
Ilum.
tiny hut right here in the middle of this square
Ilum,
to
yeah,
get us
I
some
got it.
goddamn
That would be
speaking
so
space?
disruptive.
That would be hilarious.
We'd get arrested for sure.
Well,
Absolutely.
they'd have to wait till the spell expires first.
So in like 8 to 10
8
hours,
hours.
8 hours this, 8 hours ish.
Yep.
Let's
That's
chain
awesome.
cast it.
There you go. So Elomir, to answer your question, there are guards around. You can see them kind of walking around, standing guard, just kind of keeping an eye on things.
Since we're in the way, can I approach the guard and ask him where the nearest lodging is found at? Since we don't really know anything about this place.
Okay. You approach. He's a kind of a not old man, but kind of older, kind of missing some teeth. And as you kind of walk up and ask him, he's like, "Hi, there's a few places in town you can make your way to Fortune and Flagons, or the Riptide Inn, or nearby."
You
Cool.
said Fortune and Flagons?
Fortune and Flagons.
That one looks like pretty darn close to the market, or where we are now. And then, where's the other one? What's the other
Riptide
one?
Inn.
Riptide Inn. So it's also in the slip, but
Okay.
it's just yeah. So the map, obviously, it's only portraying the important pieces. I'm not
Obviously.
gonna put all the little houses and stuff. But yeah, so it's as you can see, the town is just
Sprawling.
A
But
lot
Dungeon
of-
Master, where does Bob live? We need to go visit Bob's house.
That's true.
who's Bob? You talking
I
about
don't know.
Bob?
You tell me.
We're waiting for you to tell us more about Bob, his dreams, his desires, his aspirations. What keeps him up at night? Why does he get up in the morning?
Only Bob knows.
Does he
that.
like potatoes?
Probably.
That's-
Most people
That's probably the
do.
most important one.
I think it is the most important.
No,
one.
I actually met someone like last week who doesn't like potatoes. It was a little concerning.
Yeah, I wouldn't trust that person.
So with this information, I'll just go back to the party and tell them these are the only two options he gave me.
Well,
the only ones he gave you nearby.
Okay.
Fortune and Flagon sounds a lot more fun than Riptide, so we should go there.
I can get behind that logic.
Okay.
Because I don't really like, getting stuck on a Riptide.
All right.
If it costs a fortune.
Let's
though.
go.
Okay. All right, so you guys make your way in. Again, as you're walking, just lots of people.
Well,
You're
we're
seeing,
on
like-
horseback.
Oh, you are on horseback. That's true. That is very true. There is actually a stable. As you try and walk through the town on your horse, the guards tell you need to stable your horses.
Cool. We'll stable our horses then.
Okay,
What do we-
it'll cost you a small amount of money to quarter them for the night, but you can
Okay.
do that. Okay. All right, so you guys make pull them in. Irk.
Yeah.
Turn off the engine.
Yeah, make sure you take the keys, lock the door.
Chirp, chirp.
And exactly. So yeah, it'll cost it's about.
What about Casimir's familiar? Do they care?
That's a
It
great.
should be gone by now.
Well,
isn't it?
No,
No,
it's
it's
a permanent
infinite,
casting
yeah.
until destroyed, and then I have to resummon it. I can also dispel it, but then I'd have to use the level 2 slot later
Recast
to
it.
bring it back.
Um,
Plus, we also have the flump floating along behind Levi.
the flump's pretty tiny though. He's usually wrapped around Levi's little shoulder piece. But the jaguar or whatever is jaguar, right? Or is that panther?
Panther.
Panther's a bit larger than a flump. Plus, it's a baby flump.
Okay, so it's
Lumpy.
about the size of I think it's like the size of a softball then as a baby.
Yeah, it's pretty small.
So I think adults are basketball sized.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's itty bitty.
Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah,
He's
it's
tiny.
quite small.
it's even more adorable. Oh, shit, it's a carnivore. That's good to know.
Just start eating you.
Oh God.
So as you kind of see, you guys stable your horses, and as you're kind of stepping away, one of the stable hands is kind of sees your panther and is like, I'd keep an eye on that. Could run into some trouble.
Oh, it's just a much loved pet, and I pet her on the head and sent her through telepathic. I am just kidding. Just kidding.
All right. So yeah, you guys can make your way into town if you'd like.
Cool.
Okay.
Fortune and Flagons?
Yeah, sounds good. All right, so you guys start making your way there. Again, you see like shopping carts and like people selling wares and stuff everywhere. It is quite a bustling town. And as you guys are walking toward Fortune and Flagons, you see the tavern, you see like the sign on it, and as you get closer, you just see this guy kind of get like thrown out of the tavern and just kind of like land face down in the mud. And you see kind of this larger man walk out. He's kind of heavy set, got a belt, kind of pulling in his waist, and kind of walks with a peg. He has a peg leg and kind of shouts, and he's like, ain't none of that in my tavern. He's like, go get yourself cleaned up, and if I catch you around here again, I have a mind to run you through myself. And the guy just kind of picks himself up and walks off.
What did the guy look like?
The guy who got thrown out?
Yeah.
Kind of just short, black hair, kind of got like a thin beard, goatee thing going on, just covered in mud right now. He looks like he's kind of wobbling a bit as he's walking. You get the sense he may be a little...
Is he like muscular built, or is he scrawny? What, like, kind of...
No, he doesn't look... Pretty average.
Okay.
Nothing particular about him stands out to you.
Wow, the most normal man.
Yes.
Average
Joe.
Look a little drunk as he's kind of wandering about.
Cool. Well, this looks like the place, and it looks bustling. Let's go in.
Yes. Let's not end up like AJ, however.
AJ.
Is that his name? Who you've named
Average Joe. AJ.
Average Joe? Oh.
Nice.
I like it.
All right. So you guys enter into Fortune and Flagons. Give me 1 second to bring that up.
Oh, he's got it ready.
I gotta have everything, man. Where is it? There it is. So as you enter in, it's quite busy. You hear like lots of shouting and people laughing and just a lot of merriment going on. It is, like I said, it's kind of the end of the evening, so people are, coming in for dinner, getting their drinks after a day of work. It's very pirate themed in here. You see like, the just like flags, a few flags scattered about. You see like I'm mad because I played frickin' the pirate game. I can't remember what it's called. Whatever the wheel. But yeah, whatever the wheel is called. I'm totally blanking on what it's called. But you see like the wheel of a ship, kind of just a lot of decorations around. It's very pirate themed. You just see a lot of people just standing around, talking, eating, enjoying merriment and all sorts of stuff.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Well, let's see if we can find some lodging and maybe some food first.
Okay. All right, you make your way up to the bar, where it looks like people are being served, and you kind of wave down a man. What?
The helm.
The helm? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
The front of the ship's the... Yeah.
No. I'm talking about
the bow.
the steering wheel. Whatever
the steering wheel.
It has
I
a
call it
specific name.
steering wheel.
Ship's wheel.
Ship's wheel, I guess. I don't know. Just call it a steering wheel.
Who cares? It's called something. I don't remember what it is.
No, it's literally the ship's wheel. That's what it is. The boat
Fine.
wheel, the ship wheel.
That's fine. So anyways, you actually are able to wave down the heavy-set guy who threw the other guy out.
Sweet.
And as he kind of approaches you, just see he's got this big beard. You see kind of like sweat just like pouring down his face and collecting his beard. As he gets closer, he's like, how can I help you?
Hey, we're looking for some food and some lodging for a few days, possibly.
He's like, well, you've come to the right place. Fortune and Flagons is always open for business, and we have plenty of space if you need it.
Well, how fortunate for us.
Kinda
Just real quick, good sir.
gives you
What
a
did
fake
the other
laugh.
guy do so I can avoid it?
He's like, well, he had a bit too much to drink, and let's just say he wasn't playing cards the way he should be.
Ooh. Say no more. Say no more. Anyways, just wanted to talk to you. So we were thinking possibly if you had 2 rooms, we get 2 rooms between us, if that's possible.
He's like, of course, we can make that work.
And how much do you run per night?
It's about 50 silver per night.
All right, all right. Would you happen to have any like extended stay deals? So if we're here for multiple days and say we pay you up front, would we be able to get a discount?
Well, it depends on how many days you'll be here. How long you think you'll be here?
I don't know, guys. What do you think? Probably
I
like
anticipate we'll probably be here around a week, if not
yeah,
more.
about a week at least.
Go ahead and make a persuasion check, Levi.
Ooh, that would be a 29.
Fuck.
I rolled a 19 and I have a plus 10.
So you can stay here for free, don't you?
Nice.
So
That's
he
not
goes.
what we asked.
He basically says, "How about this? How about you guys stay, and at the end of your stay, however many days it ends up being, we can figure out the price there. But know that it is 50 silver a night, but you will get a discount on that. But that discount will depend on how long you stay. So it will be less than 50 silver a night."
Seems amicable.
Mhm.
He says, "All right,
These terms are very agreeable. Let's do it.
all right." He you see him kind of like lean under the bar, kind of like pulls out 2 keys, slams them on the table, and he's like, "The room numbers are on the keys. You'll be able to find them just down the hall. Dinners, whatever food you need, just order it. We're always available to get food."
Sounds great. Thank you so much. Would you happen to be able to like give any recommendations around town, for things to check out, like sights to see, or anything?
Businesses with particularly quality wares or anything of
Ooh,
note.
yes, quality wares are something we are definitely in the market for.
He says, "Well, what kind of wares are you looking for?"
General goods merchandise. Ideally, we can track down a wagon for purchase. Also, novelties are always an entertainment.
Magical
well,
goods as well would be lovely.
He's like, "Well, if you're just looking for general goods, there's Marketh's Trade Goods. It's just right down the street. You got the Cutlasses, a nice pair of women over there who do some good work with some of the steel they work with."
The cutlasses. I got it. Cutlasses.
Oh,
Oh, that's
clever.
clever. I like it.
Hey,
I'm fucking clever, Scott.
Oh my gosh. Right over my head. Oh, nice.
thank you. Thank you. I always said if I ever did like a all-female podcast, it would D&D podcast called the Cutlasses. I think it's a good name. Anyways,
Yeah, jokes for the win.
that's right. There's Pirate and Pirates, an alchemy shop. And then up on the run, you've got quite a few. You've got Hector's Handiments if you're looking for some magical items. He makes some good stuff. And as well as Albright's if you're looking for some books or something like that.
All right.
What was the name of the guy's
Hector's,
shop?
Hector's Handiments.
Hector's Handiments.
Hector's Handiments.
Cool. Well, thank you so much, and we'll let you know about food.
This is, of course, just grab me or one of the workers here, and we'll be able to help you out.
Cool. Let's should we maybe check out the room, stash our stuff, and then head out for town? What time is it about right now?
It's probably, you're guessing, about 5-ish o'clock.
Dinner-ish time.
Yeah, dinner's time. It's the sun's going down, evening.
My stomach rumbles. Maybe we should grab something to eat.
Yeah, drop our gear, grab a snack, maybe check out one shop before bed.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
All right, you
mean,
guys.
The night is young, and this place looks like it has a bustling nightlife. We might be able to stay up a little bit later.
All right. So yeah, you guys make your way up to your rooms, throw your stuff in there. What was is it going to be? Was it Elomir and Casimir again? Is that what it is?
I think I might room with Levi if he's up for it, so we can continue to work on the book and just send updates.
That probably seems smart.
Okay. All right.
And I'll give a high five to Steel Scar.
I guess before we head out, I'd like to like try and gather all of us into like one room so we can talk a little bit about like what Grogger's asking us to do and kind of like our plan of attack for that.
Okay. By the way, as you guys are walking through Casimir, you kind of hear like a few people shout, "Like, oh, there's a cat in here! What is this?" And then the owner guy walks up to you. He's like, "Lad, you'll have to leave that outside. No animals in sight.
I ask him to take a look. Does that look like an actual animal to you?
I mean, it looks like an actual animal, doesn't it?
Mm-mm.
Does it
It's
look different?
partially sections of it are translucent and partly glowing, so it's obviously like a spirit. It's a spirit animal. So
Go ahead and make a
it's-
go ahead and make a persuasion check.
Okay.
Stuff it in the bag of holding.
Get in the.
That's a nat 20 plus
Wow.
whatever, plus 7.
27. He kind of like looks at it and looks at you and looks back at it, and he's like, "Fine, all right. Don't make me regret it, though. Keep it
course.
close." And he kind
He
of
goes on the killing spree.
just starts murdering people.
Don't piss her off.
Oh man, I need to
Alright,
learn the
so you-
enlargement spell for the spirit.
You guys-
Oh, I would totally summon something else entirely if you were going to do margin. Oh my gosh.
So you guys are.
We would be like Baba Yaga. We would just have mobile home.
There you go. There you go. All right, so you guys are grouping up in one of your rooms real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then while we're there, I am. I am going to ritually create silence outside of our door so no one can listen in. So I'm gonna
Isn't it like an orb?
It is a circular. It's a sphere.
Okay.
20-foot radius sphere centered on a point you choose within range.
Okay, so you're basically doing your room, and so no
I
one
was doing like outside the room so that like we can still
You
talk
could-
inside and not like we're
Oh.
silencing ourselves.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's silence within the orb. Okay.
Yeah. So like
Okay.
within the and then no sound can pass through it. So if it's like centered on our door or something like that, then we wouldn't. Any sound from inside our room wouldn't be able to transfer outside.
Can you choose?
Our rooms next to each other?
I mean, wherever it is, kind of.
You're all in the same room together. Can
Yeah,
you
right
choose
now.
how
Oh,
big
okay.
it is?
20-foot radius. So no, it just says 20-foot radius. But I figure I could just put it somewhere to not.
Okay.
We just might be disrupting other
Yeah,
residents
affecting
if
other
they're
people.
going to walk down the hall and suddenly they stop being able to like
What?
make sound.
They'll just be like,
think you're-
what the?
All these
Why did it
people
get
just,
quiet
like,
all of a sudden?
screaming at each other.
But they start talking and they just can't.
Need that spell, just put it by the ice machine at the next hotel.
There you go. Okay, so you guys, Levi, you cast it. Basically, a lot of it is in your room, except for like a small corner where you guys can kind of collect.
Huddled up.
But
Yeah.
there is some outside of the room that is being affected here,
Okay.
as well as because it's a sphere, so as well as under.
Under and
But
above.
You're on the first. You're on
It's
the first
okay.
floor,
I'm
that's
gonna get
pretty
rid of
good.
it. It's concentration, so I just can drop concentration
Yeah.
and it's gone.
Okay.
So basically, Groggart has asked us to track down a illegal beast shipping ring and kind of report back on that and what's going on with it. So kind of need to talk about our plan of attack here. How do we want to figure out where these are coming from, how they're getting into the city, and where they're being sold?
Did he say what kind of beast?
Rare?
Rare beasts.
I don't know. Not really.
If you recall, he did not say the only.
Illegal creatures. Just illegal.
Yeah, the only. So he had told you they were from Rhivónia, and I believe Casimir was familiar with Rhivónia, and that it is a land called the Land of Giants. There are basically giant. Every normal day creatures here are all giant there, so like giant bugs and
Rabbits.
rabbits. I don't know what giant
55-pound
rabbits.
I don't know.
So now we're
Just
looking
about
at
rabbit stew.
Giant
But one of the-
two-headed rats.
There you go.
No. No, keep the rats. Give me the rabbits.
So giant bugs and is one of the big things, and the other thing was giant lizards, aka dinosaurs, or birds, depending on what you go with.
All right.
All right.
So
Sorry, my chair's creaking.
one option I think we might have is we could be potential buyers looking for some of these animals to break into this ring. That's usually an easy in. The other way would possibly be a seller and offering to sell some kind of rare beast. But we have no rare beast to spell or illegal beasts to sell, so
We have a Fey Panther.
we do. And we're not talking about Flumpy, so we can take
I
that
was
off the
just
table right now.
about-
No, no,
I
no,
was
no,
just
no, no,
about
no, no, no.
Uh,
No, 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 no. Flumpy
If
doesn't
we were
get
not going to
touched.
be here for long, we could leave behind the Fey. We could temporarily sell the Fey Panther, leave it with them for like an hour, get on a ship, sail out, and then I dispel and bring them back to us. But that would probably not make us any friends.
Yeah, we might want some disguises if we're doing that.
Yeah, we
What
we plan to
about-
come back here later.
What about just scouting the docks? If they're
We
bringing
could-
him in by ship, we could just like scout it out, see if we see anything that might not be normal shipments or something. I don't know.
Yeah, we could definitely do that, except, me and Casimir have humanitis, and so we can't see in the dark.
But
And-
we have a master ranger here who
We-
can see all.
It would be a Elomir
track
solo
things.
mission, probably, because,
Bum,
no offense, Steel Scar, but I don't trust you to be quiet in these kinds of situations. You're
That's
kind
right.
of you're kind of a get stuff done quickly and with as much force as possible, which I definitely respect. Don't get me wrong. That is very respectful, my friend.
I could cast Pass Without a Trace on him.
You could.
Well,
But yeah,
I mean,
I'd be okay with that.
hey, I'm good at talking to people. Maybe I can find their the dock office or something and see what they know.
Yeah, sure. Maybe we could pursue that route and maybe cause distraction while Elomir gets in there and finds out what's going on for realsies.
Distraction. I like that. Should I use force?
I mean, is there another option?
We could be passive and just talk.
Oh, I like that first. Let's do that one first, and then force if we have to.
And then
Steel
start
Scar,
punching people.
just kill a man.
I'm not exactly on for just killing a man straight out, but I mean, if we have to, I mean, I guess we can get behind that.
I'm just throwing random ideas, but
See
you
what
guys are the
sticks,
ones
yeah.
with the masterminds here.
No. I appreciate your ideas, Steel Scar. I really do. You have a very unique mind, and I like to see how it works. That is like the nicest way I could say that.
Wow.
Beautiful mind.
You have a beautiful mind.
You know, Yoskar takes everything you just said as a compliment.
I know he does. This is great.
He's too wholesome,
This is why Steel Scar's my friend.
just unflappable.
Levi, you do detect that you have probably about 3-4 minutes left in the silence spell.
All right, so let's. Should we head out later tonight after maybe we do some shopping, and then we can possibly see what's going on at the docks area.
First things first, though, right? You wanted to get your magical item here.
Magic items, especially if we can find what we want, because then it could probably be useful for this little excursion.
Yeah, we'd hate to
Indeed.
get kicked out before.
Before we go shopping.
Yeah, exactly. We shop first,
So maybe
and
we
then
tackle
get
it
kicked out.
not tonight.
Yeah, we'll see if they have magic items readily available or not.
True.
So,
Just sitting there.
yep. And silence is done.
Okay. All right.
Do I hear anything from outside from someone complaining about the silence yet?
You just hear people talking like really loudly. I said that. Oh, that was weird.
Just people like tugging at their ear.
so
Wonderful.
yes.
So where to first then? He did say something about some guy named Hector selling or making magic items. Should we check that
Yeah,
out?
so if we check that out, I feel like that would probably be the first stop, ideally. Just because we're all kind of, I know, at least me and Casimir are definitely looking for some magical gear at the moment.
And I mean, we might end up making a trip past the docks if we head that
Yeah.
way. So
Yeah.
we just like an eye out, not really look suspicious.
Mm-hmm.
I would say.
Yep, sounds good. Let's do that now and head out that direction before it gets too late.
All right, let's go.
Okay. right.
We all
so
put our
you
hands
guys-
in for a huddle. Ready? Break?
Goblin
Nope.
and Gazette.
Yeah. And then Steel Scar just walks away.
Yeah.
Bye, Steel Scar.
I walk out the room.
Okay. All right. So you guys, you're making your way to Hector's Handaments.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then
You're
kind of
not,
just
you're not stopping.
observing
Just
on the
kinda
way.
keeping an eye. Okay.
Yeah.
Then everyone just kind of make a perception check for me as you're moving from Fortunes and Flagons to
It's okay.
Hector's Handaments.
What's that plus? Oh, it's okay. I have a 19.
19,
16.
16.
I'm
What'd
just
you get?
looking at. I got a 1.
Gonna be one of those days.
12 minus 11.
11. Okay. Steel Scar and Casimir, you guys just you try and keep an eye out. You don't see anything in particular that stands out. Elomir, Levi, you guys keep an eye out. Generally, what everyone sees is the docks. You see ships, people moving stuff towards ships. You're not going out on the docks, so you can't see too much out there, but you're walking along the tide's edge there.
I cannot see much at all because it's probably pretty dark over there.
The sun at this point. The sun's like down, but the sky is still kind of lit up.
Does
You got a little
the
bit
sun
There's
does
like-
the sun set in the east?
no,
Yeah, we discussed weather patterns.
we
Yes.
did.
But we didn't
So I
we
was-
didn't discuss solar
We
pattern.
didn't. We discussed weather, not solar.
Oh, does it set in the north? That would be baller.
It just stays above at all times, actually.
The sun just goes dark.
The sun just is always up there, and then there's actually a shield that the world puts over the sun to like simulate night.
You see,
Yeah.
exactly, just in a giant like snow globe or something. No, so the sun's actually off to the west and it is going down.
Okay.
So yeah, it is getting darker. But as it's getting dark, people are walking around with torches. There's some lights lit in town. You're able to see fine.
Wonderful.
But and the docks you can see like there's some lights on the ships and some torches and stuff. But again, you're not super close, so you can't see a ton out on the dock. You just see people moving as you're going along and passing some of the stores there along the way, or I should say buildings. You're seeing people kind of like moving through with just like lots of stuff, like carrying like a wagon or a cart carrying like barrels and stuff. It looks like shipments or something coming in or going out. Nothing stands out to you guys as you're making your way there, other than as you're walking off to your left, the level above you. So what you've seen so far is like looked pretty run down. Looks like there's a lot of poverty and a lot of poor people there. The level above, it looks very nice. It's like a very nice wall kind of blocking that area. There's a stairway that leads up, and the buildings there are quite large, extravagant. And the giant shell on top is, as you're getting closer, you see just like these large spikes sticking out of it. The shell is kind of like black, and the spikes look like kind of goldish, kind of corally on top. Kind of an odd sight. But yeah, the commerce level looks quite nice
Okay.
as you're walking.
Okay.
Okay, so you guys make your way through Tide's Edge to the run, past some of the shops there.
I have a question while we're walking.
Yes. What is your question?
We work for the Goblin Gazette. Does
Yes.
our news reach outside of Ilum, or is it just centralized there? Like, would we be finding out, like, would people be reading our news in other places or not?
So when you had started, Grogard had said that the Goblin Gazette had started in Esram, which is where you guys were hired, and started.
Esram.
And he was intending to expand. So it's mainly located in Esram, but he had told you that things were going well, and so he had plans to expand it.
Okay.
So you're not seeing people reading the Goblin Gazette right now.
Okay, so it's really localized then.
It is, but again, part of you guys going out, so it wasn't just local news to Esram. You guys going out was to expand that.
It also
Okay.
gives SRAM news from the outside world, which is pretty important too.
Yes.
Okay, got it. I just wanted to make sure what you were saying the first time.
No, it's all good.
Especially with
Um,
the magical books that let us transfer the information
Mhm.
back is pretty useful for communication of what's going on in the world.
Yep. Okay, so you guys make your way to Hector's Handaments. Let me bring up my notes. All right, so again, it's pretty dark at this point.
Is he
But you do
open?
see a light. As you say, you see a light on, but the door's closed. So there's not like an open or close sign on the outside.
I knock.
Okay. You knock. You don't. You wait for a minute or two, and you don't hear anything.
I guess he might not be open. I try knocking one more time, and if
Okay.
it doesn't work, then I'll leave.
Knock, knock, knock. You don't hear anything, and doesn't seem like anyone's coming.
Okay. Maybe I'll shout out, "Hello, is anyone home?"
Someone's in here.
No, no one's here.
Just maybe think of John Mulaney.
Oh god. Yeah, it doesn't seem like anyone's answering.
Okay, well, maybe we can come back tomorrow and see what's going on. Like,
Okay.
it might be a bit too
DM.
late for him.
I take out a piece of gold and can I slip it under the door? See if anything happens.
Can you slip it under the door?
I slip one piece of gold.
Are you flipping it all the way, or are you like leaving it halfway so you could pull it back out, or you could see it disappear?
I want to put it in. I want to leave like a little edge of it so where I can see it, but I want to see if it gets pulled in or not.
It seems to just sit there.
I guess no one's
maybe you
here.
need to flick it in there and like get it really far in, Steel Scar.
I have some very large fingers. Someone with slimmer fingers might be better suited to push that piece of gold all
No,
the way in.
you don't gotta push. You just gotta flick. Just flick it and slide it along the floor.
I try that.
Okay. It's a little tough with your gauntleted hands. You gotta kind of like take your gauntlet off and be able to get it. It's one of those things where you go to like put it in, you're like, ugh, can't get in there. You're good. Got it.
So, do we see?
Hear it. Kind of sound like it hit something, but no reresponse.
Oh well. We can
Wow.
come back, I guess, tomorrow when it's later.
Yeah. I'll role play this, but since we don't know the town, as we're walking by, just noticing like the names on the shops, can I kind of tell like what everything is up in the run?
Yeah. 1 second. So Hector's Handaments. Just you assume it's a guy that makes magic stuff.
Yeah.
Well, we were told that, weren't we?
You were told that, yes. So you walk by. Squeaky Rudder seems to be a tavern of sorts. The Albrights, as you walk by, it seems like there's lots of books there. Tidesong Trading Collective seems to be some sort of business. Probably have to do with shipping, is your guess. Dock Office, just the Dock Office. Albatross Shipping is actually a familiar name to you guys. There was an Albatross Shipping in Esserum. You guys may or may not remember that, but there was an Albatross
Yeah.
Shipping.
That's what I used to ship
it,
last
right?
time.
I don't know if it's what you used to ship. I can't remember if that's what it might have been. Perhaps, I don't know. I had to go back and listen. That was so long ago.
That was like episode 1 or 2.
Sorry, did you say what the deckhand was?
Oh, the deckhand looks like some sort of business. You can't glean too much from it.
Okay.
Black Mass Shipping, again, looks like some sort of shipping business based on the name. Sealand Shipwrights, again, no one's really there, so you're not certain. Shipwrights. And the Scallywag's Den is... I don't remember what I said that was.
I don't know. You never told us.
It looks like some sort of shop. Yeah, I had to check my notes.
Scallywag's Den is a shop and not some kind of like
Brothel or
sailor
something?
only pub or something like that. That's the
You don't know.
pirate
You
pub.
don't know.
We could go to the pirate pub.
So I will note all the ones that seem trade related.
Okay.
like shipping related, as it kind of seemed like that would be pretty easy business to move things like animals.
That would make sense.
Okay. So you
And
guys
I
make
wouldn't be surprised if, honestly, like Hector would be involved, since unique creatures, magic generally go
Whoa.
hand in hand.
You don't even know Hector.
Yo, you're putting this hate on this man, and we haven't even met him yet. We don't even
Unless
know if it's
we
a
want
man.
something
Hector
Putting
could be a
suspicion.
woman's name, and you are just like labeling this person.
But yeah, you're totally right. It could be anybody.
It could be
It could
anybody.
be me. It's my backstory.
I could be Hector.
First call me out, then agree with me. Oh, fine. I'll go over here and just drink my milk.
No. We need to create a distraction
Oh gosh.
so Elomir can get in.
Yeah. So as we're walking by again, how busy are the docks now that it's night? Are they like winding down, or do they still stay pretty active?
They are winding down. It still looks like some people are moving some cargo around. You can hear kind of some people shouting from the boats, shouting out orders, supplies, things they need. But definitely it's wound down.
Okay.
Okay.
What kind of distractions are good, guys, and what kind are bad?
Ones that get us arrested are bad.
Okay.
Real bad.
I'm looking at thaumaturgy and just trying to think of what might work. Oh, we could just, cause the dock to shake. That'll distract people.
I could use prestidigitation to get rid of all torches, or I get rid of torches within 10 feet of me. Just turn them off.
What are you guys trying to accomplish?
Some
They
kind
were
of
gonna-
distraction, possibly to get Elomir safer entry into the docks without being seen.
I mean, would it be? And maybe I have to
You
roll
can walk
perception.
out on the docks.
Well, if it's just the
Yeah.
docks, can't we just waltz on out there? Like,
Yeah.
people are going about their business anyway. It's an open
Yeah, you could.
city resource.
Yeah, you can walk on
Before we
docks.
go out there, though, can we check and see if there's like a clothing shop or something so we could buy kind of sailory clothes? Because I feel like with the way we're dressed, it might feel a little out of place to.
No,
go
there's
out
going to be
there.
businessmen of all sorts dealing with their either the ships they own or the trade goods that they're sending out on the ships or bringing in.
All
or
right, I'm a
traveling
famous ship
themselves.
owner. That's what it is. I'll be a famous ship owner, and I can just talk my
Or
way
we,
out
can
of it.
or we can just be generic merchants, and
Yeah,
that way we
we
fit
could.
in with everybody else.
That's
Levy
true.
on the shoulder.
One day, man. One day.
Levy, weren't you just saying back at the end that we wanted to make sure you got what you needed first before we did anything as to not risk us getting kicked out?
Right. So we don't get kicked out. But we still have
So-
to investigate a little bit. I don't think we're gonna get kicked out for, being on the docks and checking things out. People are already over there. If someone comes up to us and tells us, hey, you can't be here, then, like I say, we probably get leave at that request.
I'll throw sand in their eye.
Push him in the water and run away.
Yeah. So I know we were told bugs and lizards / dinosaurs and or birds.
You were not told that. No, I was saying
We just
depending
Oh.
on
know.
depending on your interpretation of dinosaurs, whether they were lizard-like or bird-like.
Okay.
In D&D, I believe they are lizard-like.
Okay. I get it.
So Grogger didn't tell you that. That was just what Casimir knows is from Rhivónia.
Okay. Do I know anything about those animals?
What do you want to know about them?
Anything that would help me track them, smell them, any signs of them? I don't know.
Okay.
Like fellas waltzing about.
Yeah, if you could describe them, it might help the cat sniff them out.
Go ahead and roll a nature check, maybe.
Nature 11.
11. Well, he had pointed out that they're all giant, so you'd imagine that you'd see a giant lizard or something moving around.
Makes sense.
But you've never seen giant bugs or giant lizards, so you're not exactly certain what to be looking for, other than the things that would be left behind by regular birds or regular bugs and regular lizards.
Okay.
If you find
So
really
when I
large
get-
poops, we know it's one of the things.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of a
Psycho.
telltale sign.
You just see a guy walking a giant T-Rex through the street. Don't mind me.
That's the thing. These animals are supposed to be they're supposed to be huge, right? So how are they making them get out without being able to be seen? They have to have
They're
some.
shrinking them.
I was thinking
They're
maybe they
shrinking
shrink them or
them.
something and like
Or
make them
portals.
or portals. Yeah, something. Something
So if they're
magical is
portals,
definitely
that's
probably
the whole
happening.
Elomir's thing. If they're shrinking them, that's Levi's thing.
Hey, why do I have to be the one that
Oh.
shrinks?
I
It's
don't know.
cold
You're
out,
the
guys. I can't
only one I
help
know with prestidigitation.
I
That
don't know
was
if
just
that's
related to the whole prestidigitation thing. It wasn't meant to be a downer.
that's awesome.
Okay, well, if I don't really have to sneak, I'm just gonna start walking the docks and see if I see very large cargo boxes or animals.
Also, I would like to keep a lookout if we're kind of like going and like perusing together as merchants. If anyone's very hostile to us getting close to their boat, because that could be
Okay.
something that might be interesting too.
Okay. All right, it's fine. So you guys make your way out on the docks. Start looking around. The water's it's dark out there. You can't really see into the water, but there's kind of like lapping against the docks. Like I said, you see, it looks like some crews are, finishing, tying down their boats and stuff like that, and just loading them up. Maybe heading out the next day. Is there anything specific you're looking for? What did you say, Levi? You were looking for what again?
I'm looking for anyone that might be possibly hostile to us getting close to their boats, just to like.
Okay.
That would kind of cause more of like a flag for me of just being like, I wonder
Okay.
what's actually on there.
So are you like walking up to kind of get close to some boats? Or
I
you
would
just
I
kinda-
would I would still stay only on the dock, but if I like was on the dock and I was like looking at a boat and someone came over and was like, hey, what are you doing here, kind of something like that, then that would be kind of more of a notification.
Okay, you do see that there's some guards kind of walking around the docks as well, on patrol. Elomir, what did you say you were looking for specifically?
Large cargo, like really big cargo boxes, or anything. Well, that's too vague. I was gonna say anything that like would seem like animal supply to me. If that's too vague, ignore me.
Go ahead, just go ahead and roll a perception check.
Like, I don't know, like what do lizards eat?
You tell me what I'm looking for.
16.
16. Okay. Yeah. So you guys walk the docks, and you see a few ships that seem to have large crates and barrels and things that they're moving on. Just kind of like as you glance at some of them look like maybe some food. Others look like just trade goods, clothes, silks, cloths. Some have like metals and things that looks like they're just. I mean, nothing in particular stands out to you. Not really exactly sure what you'd be looking for, but nothing stands out as kind of odd
Right.
for you, Elomir.
I would like to have Valley just like be sniffing the air as we're going along and tell me the like types of animals and creatures she is smelling.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a perception check for her.
Okay.
While that's happening. Go
And
ahead.
then just so keen smell. Panthers have advantage on perception checks for smell.
Okay.
So 18 plus 4, so 22.
Okay. She just kind of starts to list off, just like every time. So basically, like, just kind of tells you
Seagull,
lots of
fish.
people, fish, a lot of fish, birds. You can't specify the birds, so you're assuming seagulls. Livestock, chickens, goats, stuff like that. Nothing that seems out of the ordinary.
Gotcha. Okay. Then I'll just continue to walk around with her and have her just continue to relay what she's smelling.
Okay. Levi, you kind of approach some boats and no one seems to stop you. But you kind of like get some just glances from some of the guards, kind of like keeping an eye on you guys walking around. It is dark at night on a dock, with money, like, expensive wares. So you assume that people are probably keeping an eye on them people. As you're moving around, looks like maybe some of the crews kind of like spot you and just kind of like, again, keep an eye on you. Like, what are these people doing walking around the docks at night? But no one seems to like call you out or get aggressive.
I want to play some music on the edge of the dock. I want to sit on the dock, edge of the dock, and just play some music.
Any, what are you playing? What instrument?
Ooh, what do I have? I don't have a. I have a. What instruments do I want to play right now? Oh, I do have a
Oh.
lute. I'm gonna play my lute. I have one apparently in my inventory, in my bag of holding.
All right, you pull out your lute and just start playing some sort of sea shanty, and just nice, relaxing moment out on the docks here.
Cool. Chilling.
Just chilling, man. Enjoying the vibes.
We are vibing.
You're vibing.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah, nothing out of the ordinary.
All right. Well, if there's not too much out of the ordinary, I don't want to push ourselves too much tonight to force a situation to happen. These things are obviously hidden for some reason, so I think maybe
If we
should
lit all
head
the
back.
boats on fire, I'm sure they'd have to unload everything, and then we'd see it all a lot easier, wouldn't we? That's a good idea, right?
Not wrong.
Let's go with that as a plan B for now. So
Casimir realized he should stop talking out loud.
That was the inside voice.
You could just tell the panther your ideas. That's a great idea, Casimir.
I forgot how creepy the panther was.
God. Ugh. So yeah, I guess we can just head back to the Fortune Flagon if you guys want.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, you guys make your way back to Fortune and Flagons. Seemingly not gathered much,
That's fine.
but got a good lay of the city, the layout of the city.
When we get back, I'd like to flag down possibly the man we talked to before.
Okay.
And kind of just I want to ask him. He's just ask him about Hector because we didn't see him. So.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and make a persuasion check.
Yeah, so what I want to say to him is just hey, so we went over and we went to Hector's handments, and it didn't appear to be open, or he wasn't home or something like that. Do you happen to know where he might have gone? I'm going to use my dagger for advantage on this one.
Okay.
Ooh, it's still not good. 13.
13. Okay. He kind of pulls up his belt and kind of sits down next to you guys, pulls a stool and sits down. He's leans forward, yeah, that Hector's he's an odd one. He does some pretty amazing things, but he's an odd person. Who knows what he could have been doing? Maybe he was home and didn't want to answer. Maybe he's gone. I have no idea. I don't make my way over there often, but he's not duck. I'll say that.
Can I get an insight check on him and just kind of check to see how truthful he's being about it, or if he's
Sure.
telling me everything?
Go ahead and make an insight
I
check.
completely missed my dice tray and threw it on the floor. Okay. That was a 19 plus 4. 23.
Okay. As you've just kind of been around town, you get the sense that people in this town aren't on the up and up necessarily. It's not like the law and order.
Mm-hmm.
When you were in SRM, it seemed like things were, even the poorest people in town seemed to be not well taken care of, but felt safe, and people seemed relatively open to talk. This place, it seems, people are a bit more reserved in the things they say, keep their opinions to themselves, and have lots of differing opinions.
Okay.
But the sense you get from him, that he doesn't know you that great, so he's not just sharing everything with you, but it seems that what he's telling you about Hector, you get the sense it's probably true. But there may be more there that he's not telling you, but it more that it doesn't seem like it's necessarily important. Not that there's some big dark secret he's hiding.
Hector is the mastermind behind everything. No. All right. Cool. I will.
Right.
I will, with that knowledge of and what he said, I will thank him and feel like we can either have some drinks or go up to rooms.
Okay. Yeah, he kind of gets up and scoots in the stool and makes his way back to walking around the tavern.
Cool.
Were you guys wanting to eat, drink, or head up to your room?
Eat, drink, room, read.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
We chose all of them.
all of them.
All of the above. Okay, yeah, you guys flag down one of the barmaids and they get you guys some food and drinks, and it's not the best food, but it's nice
It's
to
food.
it's food, and it's nice to have a indoor seat instead of the traveling you guys have been doing lately. Yeah, nothing fantastic, but happy to have something to drink and eat and a roof over your head.
Cool.
You guys finish up, make your way upstairs to your rooms.
All right. How big are our rooms?
Rooms they aren't particularly large. You walk in and there's basically, I don't know, say maybe about. I'm like trying to do math of what a regular size room is.
Like,
A regular
are we
size
are we
room.
talking like 15 feet wide, like 15
Sure.
feet by 15 feet, or?
Sure, they're not huge. There's nothing extraordinary about
Okay.
them. There's just room, beds. You see like a small table for you to put stuff on. That's about it. Nothing
Are we?
super fancy.
Do we have windows, and are they facing the ocean? Do we have an ocean view?
You guys are on the ground floor.
Okay.
I would say that yeah, you could you have an ocean view. You can see out on the docks.
Okay. Okay. Cool. That is good information.
Indeed, it is.
For
Good
later.
questions.
All right.
Cool. I'm good. I'm
Alright.
just gonna, write in my books and keep my journals updated.
Okay. Casimir, were you going to read?
Yes.
Okay.
More
long
of
you-
the manual.
How long are you going to read? We did the math.
Geek. I guess I would ask everyone else how early they were thinking of getting up and starting the day.
Are we allowed to sleep in?
You can do whatever you want.
I would really
We're
like to sleep in.
adults.
You've rented the room for
Levi is
extended
not a
period of
morning
time, so-
person, I would like to say. So, if we do not have to wake up early, I would prefer not to.
Fine by
Okay.
me.
Maybe
So it
get
sounds
some
like
nights.
we're sleeping in which case I would stay up late since we would get to sleep in order to get a lot of reading in.
Okay, I would say at this point it's probably about 8-ish o'clock. So how long would you want to stay awake?
4 hours, maybe
So-
more.
So about 12.
Yeah, let's go 12.
Okay, so write down 4 hours.
Will
Oh my
do.
gosh.
Red. Four more
I,
hours. There we go.
When everybody's kind of asleep, I would like to cast Detect Portal just for fun.
What's the range on it?
It is 1 mile.
Wow.
That's
That's a lot. That's a large range. Okay. What exactly does it say? Does it tell you exactly? You know exactly where it is, or you just know there's a
Distance
portal?
and direction of the closest planar portal.
Okay. You don't detect anything here in Sailport, any portals or anything. You do detect a portal. So basically, the way that Sailport is it is kind of like there's a large sheer cliff behind that upper tier, and basically on the edge of that cliff is the Valewood. You are detecting a portal pretty far, kind of the edge of your mile range in the Valewood. And did say you know what kind, like where it leads to or something like that?
No. Just as
Okay, you
distance
just know
and
it's a
direction.
portal. Okay, yeah, you know that you've sent a portal in the Valewood.
All right. Elomir craps his pants.
It worked.
Found something.
Well, as actually go ahead and roll a history check for me.
History check. Pretty good. 20. Not
20.
natural.
Okay. So you grew up in the Greenwood, and you know some about the Valewood. It was not entirely out of the question for there to be a portal in the Greenwood to the Feywild. And so That's your best guess as to what that is probably
Okay.
is.
Gotcha.
So, Levi, you do notice that you have a note. Your book from Grogard has a message. It seems.
Ooh, okay.
Okay.
I will read the message. What does the message say?
Okay. The message just says that.
Oops, wrong number.
Fuck that Levi guy. As you're reading it, it looks like it's asking about something that happened in Silver Ridge. He basically says it looks like someone of a rather important person was found dead in Silver Ridge, and he had kind of done when he knew about it and when you guys were there, he was asking if you had known anything about that because he thought that your guys' stay there may have overlapped with this.
Do I remember anything? Because I don't have any notes on a person dying, so...
You don't recall anything about anyone dying when you were in Silver Ridge, no?
I mean,
Everybody was
other than the people that, like, died in the mine, isn't that where we went to?
Yeah, no, this seems to be like not just some average Joe who died. It seemed like it was an important figure or something in Silver Ridge.
Okay. Yeah, then I respond, it's like, no, we didn't hear anything like that at the time when we were there. Do you have a name? I'll respond, like, is there a name that we could, like, possibly look up? And then would you want us to stop back there on our way back to Esserim, to kind of, like, do a follow-up on it?
Okay, so you send that back.
I'll get
you don't know how long
you
don't know how long the message was there, so you might have to wait a little bit.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, I just figure it's like a nightly check-in or something like
that.
Yeah,
got it. Okay. And Sealscar, did you have anything you wanted to do before you went to bed?
Not really. Not much I can do right now. I gotta be a good boy according to the other guys.
Okay.
Steelscar is a good boy. He is
Cool.
very good.
You guys can rest up and so Casimir stays up till about 12ish. And then you'll go to bed. Yeah, that's what you guys are able to do. Rest up, wake up in the morning. The sun's coming in through because it's rising in the east, so you can see the lights coming in through your window. Yeah, there's some small shades there, but they're not blackout curtains. So
I tried casting prestidigitation at the window to turn it off. It doesn't work.
Didn't work.
I cast thaumaturgy at the window to close the shutters.
Oh, there are no shutters on these windows.
Wait, no, seaside town, no shutters?
Oh man, I told you it wasn't a very extravagant place you were staying. They don't spend money on things like shutters.
They sure do on bars.
It's what stops flooding.
Who knows?
Hey,
Floods don't exist in this continent.
They have never had a tidal wave.
Except for the
They've
one
never had,
with,
a rainstorm.
A monsoon.
Uh,
Okay, cool. I will get up slowly.
Okay. Wake up. Yeah, you get the sense it's probably 8, 9 o'clock, something like that. You guys feel rested. Nice not having to murder things to stay alive for a change.
Yeah, I love going to sleep and not having to murder someone. So,
Okay.
I guess head downstairs. I'll try and get some food. Drink.
Okay. You guys all head down there, get your morning
Yeah.
coffee and stuff. Okay.
My coffee.
There you go. Oh yeah, you guys get your food and stuff. They seem to be keeping a running tab of just the stuff that you're getting and everything, based on your conversation with who you still don't know his name, the owner of the tavern, barkeep. Yeah. Yeah. What would you guys like to do? You're eating the days before you.
Do you guys want to go check out Hector's again? See if we can get in this time?
Indeed.
Maybe it's a 2 gold fee entry.
Okay. You want to make your way to Hector's?
Yeah, if that's good with everyone.
All right. Hey, you guys make your way that way, same route you took last night. Seems the city is kind of starting to wake up. You see some people on the docks, doing, moving some stuff. The day's just getting started for everybody. You make way to Hector's. You get there. The door seems to be slightly propped open.
Oh. Let's go inside.
Okay. Yeah, it's not a particularly large building, but you're able to make your way in. So you enter a dark store. You immediately have to duck beneath a large metallic object that hangs just beyond the threshold. It seems to be some sort of bar or something. And as you gaze around, you see the store is simply cluttered with odds and ends. Items that have been taken apart, cogs, bolts, and tools lying everywhere. And as you kind of like weave your way around this path that's kind of been made in this just cluttered store, you eventually see kind of a man bent over a table. He's got a small gut. His shirt seems to struggle it in. He's got kind of like wispy hair. As he has like these kind of like big goggle looking things on his eyes, and as he seems to be busily working on something. And as you guys kind of get closer, he kind of like raises up a hand and is like, "One moment, please." And he like carefully kind of twists a small object into place with a pop. And the object, it looks like a small sphere, lights up, and he twists the knob on the top again, and the light goes out. He twists it back, and the light comes back on. He's like, I've done it! Here, catch! And he just tosses it to you, Levi.
I catch.
Okay. You grab it. As you see it, it looks like just this circular kind of clearish object, and you can see in it is like this kind of flame. And it kind of is giving off light around the area, and you kind of like do what he did, and you twist it, and it seems like it covers up the light.
Huh.
Twist it back, and it kind of opens the light.
That's convenient.
And he says, so he tosses it to you. He's like, the perfect object for an adventurer who finds themselves in the dark. It's a light whenever you need it. The sphere is made from very tough materials, so the chances of it breaking are very slim. And he grabs the object and back from you, Levi, and kind of like rolls it on the ground. He's like, and it rolls! It rolls around the room, kind of lighting up the store as it's rolling. He's like, great for rolling down scary hallways. And he kind of like chases after the item.
Wrong.
He seems very giddy and excited with this thing that he's created. And he kind of like picks up and just kind of like stares into it, like the spectacles on his eyes just make his eyes look really big.
How long does it light up for?
He's like, forever.
That's amazing.
He's like, yes, I have enchanted it with the oh god, what's the name of the spell?
Daylight.
This flame spell. It's called like eternal. I keep wanting to say it's eternal flame. It's not. Never ending flame or something like that. I don't know. It's a spell, and I'm blanking on what it's called. Now I have to look it up because it's making me angry. What is it?
Everlasting flame.
Continual flame.
Continual flame. There we go.
There you go. Because it lasts until it's dispelled.
Cool.
So as he's just kind of like staring at it, kind of seems to get lost in the object, and he like turns to you guys. He's like, and what may I help you with?
Well, you definitely seem like the kind of person that I want to be talking to right now. So I am in the market for finding a magical item to fit our needs. And I heard you might be the person to talk to.
He kind of just like sets the object down on his table, and he kind of like lifts the spectacles so they're not giant. Looks like he has normal eyes now. He's like, and what might those objects be?
Well, the object I'm currently looking for is some kind of communication device that would let me and my few compatriots here communicate with each other without being in the same vicinity.
And kind of like strokes like the small chins on hairs, the chins on his hairs, the hairs on his chin. And it's like, yes, I've done some work on like that before, but I have a problem.
What seems to be the problem?
Well, the focus that I use to create objects like that broke a few months ago, and I've not been able to do anything
What do you need
since.
for a focus?
Well, it's a rather interesting object to get a hold of, but it's called a hag's eye.
Do we know why it's called a hag's eye?
Roll an Arcana check.
Not the one that I rolled a 1 with.
I rolled a 19.
Ooh, look at you.
Oh my god, can I roll my dice?
14.
15 plus 3. 18.
18. We're just going to assume Steel Scar doesn't know anything about it.
Yeah. Magic? Question mark?
I think the highest was a 19 from Elomir.
Yeah.
What did you get, Casimir?
14.
14. Okay, yeah, you're not sure
I'm
what a
working
hag's
on my
eye
rock.
is. Yeah, you're not sure what it is. And Casimir, or Elomir and Levi, you've heard of hag's eyes. They come from hags. Specifically, hag covens. They are an object that the coven creates using an eye of something else, but it isn't something that they create, and it gives them some sort of utility power. You're not sure exactly why they do it, but it comes from hags. It's from a coven that is typically these are created for.
Got it. Okay. Well, that is good to know. Do you happen to know where we might be able to find one if you do not have one?
He kind of like eyes you for a second. He's like, "Are you interested in procuring one?"
Well, you need the eye in order to make the items that I want, and I want the items. Oh my god, Siri, go away. You need the hag's eye to make the item I want, and I quite want these items. So, if you happen to know, then maybe we could come to some kind of agreement.
And just kind of was like, "That sounds agreeable." I have heard some rumors of a hag coven up north. That I have kind of, when I was looking into where I could get a hag's eye, that's where I would have gone. But hunting down a hag coven is not something that I want to do right now. So I have not followed up on that pursuit. So if you would love to go in my stead,
Oh, fuck. Sorry, there's a spider on my wall.
how big's the spider?
Tiny.
So
And I
was
wanted
it
it to be
war?
before it got away and grew big. Sorry about that.
You're fine. So yeah, he just tells you that he's heard some rumors about hag coven up north.
What do I know about hag covens? And specifically getting eyes out of them?
So it's not like
right.
a hag.
It's not.
eye.
It's a focus that they make. Like it's something that they make. But I'm assuming since they make them, they don't necessarily give them out very easily. I would imagine.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead and roll a history check to see what or what are you trying to figure out why they would make one, or what purpose does it serve? What?
More of typically how one would get one out of a coven.
Oh, okay. Yeah, just roll history.
I have no idea. 5.
5. Yeah, you're not certain how you would go about procuring that from a coven.
I will ask him then, since I don't readily know. I was like, so, do you have any recommendations on how to get this eye out of these out of this hag coven? Ideally, it's not a go in and just start killing things. Hopefully.
He says, "Well, the hag coven is a object of great value and importance to a hag. So yes, they're not just going to hand one out to you. You will have to kill them probably if you want it.
Oh, okay. Well, noted. Thank you.
But don't destroy the hag's eye,
Okay, will do.
because you can destroy them."
You said north. Do you have any more specific north in mind?
He's like, the rumors I had heard and I had followed, was there's a small town to the north, along the shore called Mire Shore. When I had heard rumors that some people there had spotted or knew about a hag coven. I don't know where the coven is. I don't know where they stay. Again, I was just doing some research, and that's what I found, and I stopped there because I wasn't going to pursue it. But if you need that information, I would head to Mire Shore to see if you can find that out.
Wonderful. I guess the other question would be is, do you have any of the items on Casimir's shopping list?
He just walked away.
You could roll out a shopping list for him.
I'll be back in just a moment.
That's fine. So he kind of starts to look over the list, and if I remember right, a lot of his things were pretty mundane. He had some magical items there.
I personally am looking for the DOS loot. Because that would be amazing.
Specifically, you want the legendary loot.
I want that legendary
I'm
loot.
gonna wait for him to get back instead of scrolling back through my
Yeah, he has it.
messages.
I'll ask
with
him in the meantime. Since you seem pretty smart and get into some pretty niche studies here, do you know anybody around here that studies portals?
Go ahead and make a persuasion check.
Where's my persuasion? Oh, it's a 0, so I just got an 8.
8. He goes, nope, don't know anyone who does anything with portals here.
Can I perceive if that was genuine?
It would be an insight check.
Insight. All right. 6. Fuck.
Man, you think he's being completely honest with you,
Okay.
as far as you can tell.
I hang my head.
You don't actually know that you didn't roll well. You just think he's
Yeah.
being honest with you. He could be.
Since we're all talking magical items, there's something that I want to ask him too.
Sure.
I'm like, I was wondering if you could help me out with something. See, we sometimes go investigating and like we've been into like caves and stuff, and sometimes we want to be quiet, but my armor is usually really loud. And do you know where I could acquire maybe some kind of armor that could be both sturdy but quiet?
He's like, well,
Because I know usually when I go to a blacksmith, they're like, no, we just make what we can. But they in the past they've mentioned something about enchanting armor. But see, I don't know much about magic, so since we're here, I thought it wouldn't hurt to ask.
it's like, well, I can certainly enchant your armor. It takes a little bit, so you wouldn't be able to be wearing it. And it would cost you some money to do that, but it is possible to enchant your armor.
You know what? I'll think on that because I know these guys here have more urgent needs that they want fulfilled.
It's all right. He's like, are there any other questions? Objects you need enchanted.
Wow.
How much would dark vision be?
Dark vision on what?
I tap my mask.
And he like reaches for your mask. Like his hands are
Yeah.
out like this.
I pop it off and hand it to him.
Have I seen Casimir without his mask on? Like,
I'm
I don't know
assuming
if
he
he's-
takes it off at
A
night.
few times. When we first met, I had it on the counter next to me.
got it.
Do you
got
sleep in it? Do you sleep in the mask?
Yes.
Oh, you do.
it. Okay.
Do you
So
take all the
I just laid
all
it on
the-
my back with the
Oh.
mask facing up, and so I'm just.
all the other armor off, but your helmet's still. You're like Mandalorian.
The helmet stays on. He's like Shax.
Yeah, you like Shax. Oh
Nice.
god. This is one of the few times you've seen Casimir without a mask. So he kind of like looks it over and he's like, "Am I detecting that there's already some magic on this?"
You'd be correct.
It says, "What enchantment is already on this?"
The only property I know of is that it repairs itself after damage.
He says, "Well, that's your first problem. It's very difficult to enchant an item twice.
Is it possible?
It's very difficult and very expensive and prone to failure.
What was the result of failure?
The destruction of the object."
Well,
Ooh.
damn. Never mind then.
What about if you don't care about the object? Any object
Well,
for dark
then-
vision.
It doesn't matter. if you are wearing this object or carrying it, and it gives you the powers of dark vision, then it doesn't matter what it is.
Yep. Don't care.
Okay. I pull out a little metal bead. How about this?
It says, well, typically magic items, if they're going to give you that effect, you need to be somehow wearing them.
Can we implant it in the mask?
Make like lenses.
Well, what like weld it, or make lenses and put those on the inside. Yeah.
Like glass lenses is what you're
Mhm.
thinking?
Yeah. So like 2 monocles, and then affix them in place.
So you
like,
put them on the outside.
Yeah, of the map.
Hold on,
effectively
guys.
have googly eyes. So a like solemn tiki mask with googly eyes.
He says, well, typically... Hold on one second. I want to see what the dark vision spell, what it is. Wizard spells.
Dark vision 5e.
Yeah. Dark vision.
Oh god,
Is
that's right.
a-
Roll 20.
What? Why is it telling me there's 0 out of 1? There it is. It's a 2nd level spell. Okay. Up to a range of 60 feet. Let me see something. I will have to get back to you. I have a sheet
Yeah.
that I have used to determine the cost of magic items.
All right.
And
We'll mess
I
with
wanna-
it
I
later.
want
It was
to
an idea
consult
I had
that,
and
yeah.
forgot about.
So he basically tells you he can't give you a price unless you know exactly what it is you want to do. He can tell you how much it would cost to like just enchant a normal like ring or something,
What about some
Which is
goggles
what-
or something?
which is what I will tell you. Like the enchantment on any object, he can tell you what it is. But if you're wanting to do something like flippy lenses or something, then that's something that might be more right than just wearing a ring that gives you it.
Okay. If I just had a ring, then how much would he charge to enchant the ring?
That's what I said I will look up.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
And
All
then, does he have
I'm making
anything for the like the magical items that we might be having or looking for?
So he tells you that he's like, regarding the magic items, if you want those me to create that, that's fine. I can do that once I have the Hag's Eye, and it'll take a few days, maybe a week. How many are you wanting?
For the communication devices,
Yes.
4 at least.
4. Okay. That will take maybe a week to enchant all of those.
Okay.
So it'll take a little bit of time. But since you were helping me with a Hag's Eye, Gaina, I will certainly give you a large discount on the cost of those. I believe I put it somewhere hidden deep within my notes.
Oof.
I put somewhere how much he would charge you to do that. I will have to find that because I remember writing that down. I'll make a note for myself as well.
Okay, sounds good.
Um,
And then more of also like the more mundane magical goods as well,
Yeah.
possibly. Shopping.
so also he tells you about the magic items. He says, for the communication devices, I need you to provide the objects that you want to be enchanted.
Okay.
And depending on the type of object you want enchanted will affect its activation and usage. Typically, communication devices, it's not a constant thing. They need to be activated. If it's a ring, it needs to be twisted. If it's a bracelet, it needs to be squeezed or twisted or something like that. Just decide what object you want enchanted. Typically, mundane jewelry works great, but whatever
Do they all
it
have
is,
to be the same thing?
they don't necessarily need to be the same thing, but it may speed up the process of enchanting them.
Okay.
You know, once you do something once, it's repetition.
Yep. We will definitely think about what item we want as a group probably then. But first things first would probably be the Hag's Eye, because we can't do anything until then.
It says, of course. And then what was the other objects you were wanting? The stuff that he sent on the...
Yeah, There's like a giant list. I don't remember exactly. Can you go through
Yeah,
it?
so his stuff is as you kind of ask him about his wares, he doesn't have anything like he's
Yeah.
not got like the big magical the sword of a thousand truths or anything. It seems like he is tailored more
Ten.
toward handy handiments, magical items like the one that you saw. Obviously, he is capable of enchanting more than that, but that seems to be his business model is handy little knickknacks that people can use to help them in their endeavors.
So he has the handy hand of a dozen truths.
Yes. So to answer your question, no, he does not have those things you are looking for.
Okay. Cool. Wonderful. That's fine. Well, then thank you for your time. I will see what we can do about this Hag's Eye, and let you know if we venture out that direction.
So of course, you will find me here. If you have any questions, let me know. Be sure to bring me the items you want enchanted. And if you get the Hag's Eye, watch yourselves. Hags are some pretty nasty creatures. And come back safely, or I guess not at all.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Okay, sounds good.
All right. So you guys step out of his store. He seems to go back to working on whatever he was working on.
Shall we check out what else we have in this town, guys?
Indeed.
And then, kind of as we walk around, I would say we can kind of talk about that. So, do we want to go get this Hag's Eye for them? It sounds like fighting, lots of fighting, possibly.
Do we know how far away this town is? I guess we wouldn't know, right?
We wouldn't know probably. I figure we can
Yeah, you
figure it
wouldn't
out.
know. He just told you it's called Meyer Shore and it was up north.
There's a map shop right there.
Ooh, let's go there.
I'd
Let's go to
hope
Mendel's
they
map.
know.
Yeah, let's go find out. It's a good
Okay.
place.
Make your way over to the map, Mendel's map. You walk in. Mendel is a. You walk in. You see just kind of like the walls, just kind of like has some maps about Sailport of you see one of like Redbrook and just a lot of the towns around. You see some about just parts of a thing, not like the entire map of the world. That's a very difficult thing to map. But just kind of like regions and stuff. And you see like one or two people kind of like walking around, look at some of the maps. Seems like a lot of sailors come here, kind of like tracking, they need a map, figure out where they're going, stuff like that. You do
So
see
they, like, more nautical maps kind of thing?
you see a little bit of both.
Okay.
Nautical maps. People in there seem to be sailors, looking over some maps and stuff like that. And yeah, so you get in there and you see kind of this dark elf male. He's just kind of got like black hair and kind of like blackish eyes. He just kind of like seems to be sitting in the corner. Just somebody didn't sneeze. Thank you for muting that.
I forgot I have a push to mute too, so I didn't.
Nice.
Sorry. Go ahead.
You're fine. You're fine. He just seems to be looking, like watching people in the store.
Okay.
It was Meyer. What was it? Sorry?
Meyer Shore.
Meyer Shore. So I'll approach who I assume to be Mendel. I'll say, "Good morning. We've just arrived to town and we're just trying to get our bearings straight. We've met with a few people and they've told us a few places. And so I'm just wondering, do you have any map that, or do you know where Meyer Shore is?"
Says, yes, I know where Meyer Shore is. It is just up north, near the Whaling Cove.
Okay. This is my first time venturing out onto the this coast of our great continent here. How far north would it be, let's say, by a boat?
Well, Meyer Shore is quite a small village. I wouldn't imagine many boats going that direction, but If you were going by boat, I would imagine it would take about half a day. It's not very far.
Okay, great. Okay.
And then by foot.
By foot, probably about 2 days travel. By horse, probably a day.
Very cool. How about do you? And this is more just to appreciate his time. Do you have a map of this area that we could purchase from you?
A map of the Carling Lowlands or the Tidesong Coast. Yes, I have some of those if you'd like.
Yeah, just something that kind of shows Sailport up to Shore, and kind of the best bang for our buck here of just getting a wide view of this area.
Okay. All right. He finds a map and he kind of like lets you look it over. Where you can see it has basically it goes out just as far as Redbrook. Goes down. I guess I could show you the world map. So that's what I'm looking at. So if you're looking at the world map, it goes out to Redbrook. Actually into the Rivenspire Peaks. Goes down to the Ashen Mountains. It's just kind of like this kind of a. I guess I could draw a circular area here. Oh, that's a square, but
It works.
kind of that area there.
Okay, cool. I'll buy it, or I'll ask how much it is.
It was it's in that town. Like the town's in that square. You said.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
at the very
it-
top right. The name's kind of blurry.
Yeah, it's pretty small.
Okay.
It includes like out to here and stuff.
Okay.
It's 50 gold.
All right, I will purchase it.
Well, I stop
and-
him before he pays. Excuse me. Would we be able to get some kind of discount on this, sir? You see, we're travelers, and we can easily spread good word of your map shop.
Go ahead and roll persuasion.
Trying the oldest exposure.
Choosing bagger much?
So I got a 16
Pay you with
plus 10,
exposure.
so 26.
He kind of like looks you all over, sees your gear, and is like, "We'll sell it to you for 40 gold pieces. That's agreeable."
I mean, I was fine with 50. This is your show, Levi.
No. I'm just trying to make sure we get the best deal, especially since I know we're all on a reporter's salary here.
I don't know the last time I saw pay from our job.
Exactly. Hello.
It sits in SRM waiting for you guys to go back.
Yeah. I have a lot of money. I'll agree to 40, and I'll just take the map.
Okay. All right. You guys buy the map. You now have a map of the Carling Lowlands out to the Tidesong Coast.
Sweet.
Brilliant.
I'm sure it'll come in handy.
We should go and enchant this map.
Yeah.
It shows our location on it at all times.
The Marauders map.
I mean, you can take it back to Hector if you want.
I wonder how much that would cost. Another day. I don't want to bother the man. The man seemed very into his work.
All right.
Okay, cool. Well, now we know where we're going. Shall we check out what else is around here? I mean, I'm sure we could go check out like the armory shops as well, see if there's things for.
I would be interested in checking out the armory shop, seeing if there's anything they can do about my armor, because like what you guys said last night made kind of a little bit of sense about how I'm usually loud. So, especially if we're gonna do what we have to do, then I'd rather be a little more quiet.
So you're not going to be able to find a blacksmith or someone who can make you quiet. I think you're wearing scale mail or something, basically right below plate. What do you have?
I'm using a flint, so that's really loud.
Flint?
Not flint.
Splint.
Splint. Sorry,
Splint. Okay.
that's what I'm using.
Yeah. So
Sorry.
Hector had basically told you he could enchant your armor to be quiet.
But I would have to leave it with him.
Yeah, you have to leave it with him.
But we have people here who sell armor, don't they?
Yes, but what I'm saying is no one can make mundane, quiet splint armor.
No, I know. My idea was I wanted to go maybe buy armor that I can use and then leave this with Hector.
Okay. I gotcha.
Old switcheroo.
Yes.
Get some temp armor kind of thing.
There
Yeah.
you go. Okay. So you can where do you want to go specifically?
Well, I mean, the cutlasses sounds fun.
The cutlasses is what that came to mind because that's basically what you mentioned to us when we got here.
Okay.
And
Alright,
I mean,
you
with
guys-
a name like that, that sounds great.
While they do that, can I just kind of like watch the docks and try to like gain intel that way?
Sure. Go ahead and so you guys make your way down to the cutlasses. Elomir's gonna hang out the docks. Go ahead and roll a.
Before he does anything, I want to grab Elomir and go like kind of into a back alley where no one's looking,
Mhm.
and I want to touch him and make him invisible.
Ooh.
Where do you touch him?
Can you give me a doll? I'll point it out.
Okay. How long is it? And just
An
you
hour.
casting your invisibility on him?
Yeah, so he's invisible
Okay.
for an hour.
Okay. All right, Elomir, you are now invisible.
I consent. All right. Do I still have to roll something?
So what are you wanting to do? If you want to be, so what I think invisibility does just gives you advantage on stealth checks.
He is actually completely invisible, so everything he's wearing and carrying is invisible as long as
Well,
it's
that-
not on
that
the
too,
target.
yeah.
The spell and it doesn't make you any advantages or anything like that. It's just you are invisible.
Oh, anything? Okay.
So
Yeah,
obviously
I'm
for like
more-
movement would be stealth checks and stuff still. But I figured he was stealthy enough that just having invisibility would just be an extra boon for him.
Yeah. What are you wanting to do? Are you wanting to sneak
Uh,
around, or are you just wanting to?
I'm wanting to sneak around and actually maybe even get on some ships.
Okay. We will get to that in a second.
By the way, I'm just gonna be like, Elomir, if you're still here, I'm talking to the air right now. If you're still here, this lasts about an hour, so just letting you know.
And you'd be able to tell if if it's about to end, Elomir.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm looking up how invisible creatures is possible to see with the aid of magic or a special sense. For the purpose of hiding, the creature is heavily obscured. Creature's location may be detected by any noise it makes or tracks it leaves. Attack rolls are at a disadvantage. Creatures' attack rolls have advantage. Okay, so basically, if you're leaving footprints, people can see them, and if you're like walking into things and knocking them over, people are going to. Something's right. There's something funky going on over there. So what I would have you do is I would have you still make stealth checks, but they would be, you'd get it. I would give you an advantage, and it would be very easy for you to be able to sneak, as long as you're not running into things, basically. Okay, so we'll get to Elomir. You guys head down to the cutlasses.
Yes.
Okay, you make
Well,
your way inside.
I would be saying that if they had pulled into like a little alleyway, I would have been making my way over there already, anyways.
Yeah, I
Okay.
mean, it didn't take us very long. It was like
Yeah.
a minute maybe.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Boop. Okay. So you
can I
Levi
just like
kept
say
up, yeah.
invisibility is a boop on the nose? It's just like boop, and then they're
There you go.
invisible.
There you go.
I like
He's
that.
invisible. Nose boop.
That's a nose boop.
Okay, so you guys make your way down the cutlasses. You see like the sign. It's got like a cutlass hanging down. It says the cutlasses. You make your way inside. The store seems to be just lined with weapons and stuff, like some armor there, not a ton of armor, but mainly just weapons and stuff. As you walk in, you see some people kind of like looking around. You see two women, who are, one of them seems to be caught talking with a customer. Another one is kind of like manning the store. They're both kind of have like kind of like sleeves cut off. You can kind of see their arms. They've got like tattoos and stuff on their arms. They've got like hair pulled back. Kind of got like tanner skin just from being out in the sun. They look like women who can, exert a lot of physical effort. You'd imagine if you're making weapons and stuff that would be the case. So if you want to approach one of them, you can.
Yeah, I'm gonna go in and approach one of them, and Um, I'm looking to buy some kind of armor. Um, I plan on getting this one that I have enchanted, but I kind of need a backup armor for now. And I was wondering what kind of wares you have at the moment.
Give me 1 second.
I'm looking for something not really expensive, maybe like a chain shirt or something.
Yeah, I was looking up. So she's like, so you're looking for armor, all right? Well, we have some armor available. Was there any? We don't have a ton. We mainly focus on weapons here, but is there any particular armor you were looking for? I could take a look to see what we have in the back if you'd like.
Um, Maybe something like. Oh, I'm not looking for anything expensive. So, I was looking for something maybe like a chain shirt or.
Side note: do you have the chainmail that you had originally?
No, I sold that when I bought this
Okay.
splint, so that's the only reason I'm here.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
Because I remember I got a discount on my splint because I handed in my my chain shirt that I originally had.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, Levi and I did that with our armor too.
Okay. So she kind of like goes in the back and takes a look around and is like, well, it looks like we've got a breastplate here, and some ring mail, and it's just some leathers, not much.
All right. Well, I think I think I pick up that breastplate and like I might end up taking this, but you said you deal mostly with weapons.
Yes.
Um, do you just sell them or do you forge them?
We make our own weapons here. All of the ones you see are made by me and my sister. My sister and I.
If I wanted to have a weapon made, what would the cost of it be? I want
Depends on what you want.
I want specific design that's usually popular in Soon. More like a thinner, longer blade, not like this one that I have on my back.
You talk about style. You would the type of style from Sun.
Yes, I give her the details of how like the sword that I had looked like and everything, and
Steel Scar, would you want me to show them a picture? I happen to have drawn your sword previously. I could show them a picture of it if you want.
please.
Pull out one of my books.
Okay, show her the picture. She's like, well, I'll be honest. I've never made a sword of that style. It is a different type of. It's a different process to create a sword like that. I'll be honest. I've always been interested in trying it. My sister and I have been, but we've never done it. So we'd be willing to give it a shot if you'd be up for it.
Steel Scar thinks, and he's like, you know what? Yeah, I think we can give it a shot.
Okay.
Worst things worst. My master will just kill me.
Steel Scar, we're not letting that happen. Or at least willingly.
But no, you're the first. This is the first shop that I've come across where swords are actually forged and post me losing my blade. So you know what? Let's do it.
So, all right. Well, did you just want to she actually asks if you can have your picture, Levi.
Yeah, I'll rip it out.
Okay. Was it a picture of his sword or like on his back?
It was it like I've drawn like just tools and stuff like that, and
Okay, so just like a
pictures
picture of
us.
his sword.
Yeah. So like,
Okay.
I've drawn his sword. I've drawn Casimir's mask before. Just kind of
Okay.
stuff. I thought it was cool.
Okay. And she's like, was there anything? Did you want any engravings on this? Did you want gems? Any? What did you want? Just a normal sword? Any like
No,
bit?
yes, exactly as is. It had no engravings, it had nothing fancy on it. It looked plain, but just, I mean, if you ever get to try one, you'll know when you swing it, it has a different feeling to it. It hits hard, but it feels light on the swing based on how it was originally designed.
She says, "Yes, like I said, I'm familiar with the style of weapon. I've never created one, so we will give it a shot, and we will see what happens. It will, since it is a custom sword that we are making. Typically, those swords go for around 50-ish gold pieces. Since we are making it custom, it would probably run you about 75 to 100 gold pieces, depending on the process. I've never, like I said, I've not done it, so I don't know exactly how much it'll be. But that's my best guess.
All right. Well, since I was thinking, well, since I'm buying this, it was a breastplate, she said, right?
Yes.
Well, since I am buying this breastplate and we are experimenting with something new, maybe, you know, I know you said most swords usually go for 50 gold. How about we kind of strike a deal since you're trying something new and, um, we're both trying something new here. So we're both taking kind of a risk here. I understand, but, maybe we can come up with a better deal or a better offer on this.
Go ahead and roll persuasion.
Oh, shit. And I suck at that too.
Yeah,
Wait.
Levy's like sitting there.
I'm just
chomping
beaming
at
at
the
him.
bit.
I'm so happy that he's trying things.
Is she a dwarf?
No, she is not.
Damn it. Okay. Then I don't get advantage. Oof. I rolled a 6 total.
6. She's like, yeah, we're taking a bit of a risk here too. It's the materials. It could end up being a lot more expensive to do this, and we don't want to pass all of that cost on to you if it ends up being double that, because that's it's unfair to you. If it ends up costing us 200 gold pieces, we're not going to pass all that cost on you. The most would be 100. So we're taking a bit of a risk in this process as well. So I think it's a fair deal.
So it'll be what, 500 gold total?
Yeah, she's not going to have you pay for the sword until after.
All right, so just the
So you're
breast.
not paying for the sword right now. Yes.
Okay. So
Actually, she will ask for a down payment on the sword, so she doesn't make it and you just disappear, kind of thing.
all right, so what would you say?
So she will ask 50 gold down.
All right, so I'll give her 450 gold to pay for the breastplate and the down payment on the sword.
Okay. All right.
And I look back at Levi and just give him a thumbs up.
I give him a. Eh.
All right.
You were close.
Agreed.
So, when would I be able to expect this to be complete? When should I come back?
She says, well, so we're going to have to do some research on the process to create the blade. Then we have to actually create it. We should have the supplies available. I would say come back in about 4 days.
Oh, fair enough. We should be making our way back here soon, anyways.
All right. And we will see you then.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And I paid her, and I'm gonna change into this breastplate. I guess I should add it to my items.
Okay.
What is it?
Stripping down right there in the store.
Well, I do have clothes underneath my armor.
Yeah, it
So
is
you
a
guys-
breastplate.
You guys are seeing Steel Scar. Yes, takes off his armor. I guess
Takes
you're
a
not seeing
whole
him,
minute
but
to do that too.
it takes off all his armor, and you can see him walk out in just like this breastplate.
I feel like Steel Scar's like he feels really weird. And then I look at the rest. And I'm like, well, I was wondering if we're gonna head out towards where we gotta go. I'd rather stop at Hector's one last time and see if he'll enchant this armor for me.
Sure, we can head out that direction.
I mean, didn't they say that our destination is north of here? So I'm guessing we could
Well,
stop there.
we haven't even decided if we wanted to go that way, and we're still waiting for Elomir anyway, so we have plenty of time. I figure we wouldn't be leaving at least until tomorrow. If
Fair
we
enough.
decide to go that direction.
All right. Well, I guess we can make our way to Hector's again and
Okay.
see if he'll do this for me.
Okay. So while that's happening, Elomir, so what were you wanting to do? You were wanting to maybe hop on some boats or ships and take a peek at their cargo kind of thing? What?
So first, I wanted to see if I could gather any hints of like which ships would be going to Rhivónia, is what you said, right?
Rhivónia, yeah.
Rhivónia. Yeah. So I'm looking for any hint of
Okay.
that.
Go ahead and make a perception check to see. And I will give you advantage because you could get as close as you actually do this. Sorry.
Okay.
Keep your perception roll. Keep both of them for right now. Don't tell me what they are. I want you to roll a stealth check first.
Okay.
And you're gonna get a huge. Roll it with advantage.
20.
Okay. So what was your highest roll? What was the advantage roll with perception?
20.
20. Okay. Wow. So you kind of move around the docks, like just listening in on some conversations, hearing some of the sailors on their boats talking. As you're listening, you don't hear any seeming to talk about Rhivónia. You don't hear that come up. Most people, you hear them talking. They're talking about traveling down to Haramdrim, or traveling up north to Soon, or making their way down south around the Cape of Zorn, over to Windport or something like that.
Okay. And Haramdrin is close to.
Haramdrim is in the Dune Sea, which is to the south, which is where Garagar had talked to you about.
Yeah. Okay. I guess I will just press my luck, and if I see any ships, because it's to the southeast.
Yeah, did I switch over to the world map? No, here. Yeah, so Rhivónia is down the southeast corner.
Okay. So I'll
I'm
try
sorry,
to
Rhivónia. That's the name. Sorry,
Rhivónia,
let's see, right.
yeah.
Rhivónia.
I'll try to pick one of the ships that you mentioned were heading to Haramdrin, thinking that Haramdrin might be, a middle stop between Rhivónia and
Okay.
here.
And what do you wanting to do? Like you're stowing away on the ship, or you're wanting to hear more conversation?
I'd like to get on it and start
Just
to
like-
peek around.
Okay, roll an investigation check.
All right. 22.
Okay. So you hop on the ship that you'd overheard them talking about Haramdrim. As you take a look at some of the wares, this ship seems like they were talking about setting sail soon. So some of the items, like kind of like peeking in, like some of the crates and stuff. You're able to see. It looks like they're carrying just food. Again, just kind of like some generic supplies, cloths, silks. Sailport is a trading post of a lot of different things. So you've just the things you've seen people bringing in are just kind of from all sorts. And the other thing too you've noticed that I didn't point out, a lot of the ships you're seeing are of different designs, right? So like the difference between like a human ship or I should say just like a ship of someone from like the Carlian lowlands will look different than a ship of like the Haramdrim, right? It's different cultures of people, or even the people up in Soon. They're all going to have different styles of ships. So you're seeing a lot of that, like different styles of these ships. This ship actually is not like some of the others you've seen. The people on board have darker skin. They are Haram. And as you're kind of looking over, it looks like they have just, like I said, food, kind of like just general trade goods. And as you're hearing them talking, it seems like they brought a bunch of stuff from Haramdrim up, and Haramdrim's known for like, fine silks and cloths and just like things that are found out in the deserts that people would not be able to find otherwise. And there, it seems like they are just gathering supplies and taking them back for things that people can't get in Haramdrim but want.
Okay. And I don't do I perceive any, like, I don't know, this might not be fair to ask, but like maybe any like hidden compartments or anything like that?
Go ahead and roll another investigation check for that specifically.
Okay. That one was a nat 1.
Okay. Oh yeah, you don't have any luck finding. You're like walking, you're like touching the ground, like looking under all drugs. Like you're not finding anything hidden.
Okay. I guess this is feels like a strikeout. So I will I will spend the rest of this time just still kind of creeping around the docks and see if I can hear anything about animals or Rhivónia, that kind of thing.
Okay. You don't hear much conversation about Rhivónia. It just, from what you're kind of gathering, it doesn't seem like it's a place people go to often. It's a very wild and untamed land.
Okay.
So it seems like anyone who might be going there, they're not going there just to trade and stuff. Like they're going there for what you're assuming to be capture animals and bring them back to the mainland.
Okay.
So yeah. So you did for about an hour. You guys are making your way to Hector's Handaments to ask Hector to enchant some of Steel Scar's armor.
Yeah, that's
Correct.
with us.
Okay. All right. All right, so you guys make your way back up there. He just is working on some of the stuff that he has. Steel Scar, you're asking to enchant it. He tells you to take about a day or two to enchant it. But as for price, again, I'm gonna look. Let me look it up so that I'm giving you like a price that is relative to the other things that I'm having you guys pay for. So I can't give you a price right now. I'll have to look that up. You're on mute right now, by the way.
You can give me that info on private afterwards if you want.
Okay, and I can share. I'll share it on the next episode for those who are interested.
Yeah, you can let me know what shopping items I actually find, since that mundane list is pretty long.
And
That's
I
right.
do want to ask him one last thing before we leave. I'll give him my armor and I'll be like, I know you enchant stuff, but are you also capable of transferring enchantments from one thing to another, or are you only able to enchant things that are like from your own abilities?
He's like, well, transferring an enchantment is quite a complicated endeavor. It is, it destroys the object that you are transferring the enchantment from. But it is possible.
So to put it in simple terms, I'm having a sword custom made, and the sword that I currently have equipped, I was wondering if you can transfer its magical properties onto the sword that I'm having made.
He says, honestly, you're almost better off. What is the enchantment? Can I see the sword?
Yeah, I hand him the sword.
Okay. He kind of grabs it, and you see him cast a spell on the sword. It's good. It seems like it's a pretty basic, just small enchantment on the sword that helps you be a bit more accurate and deal more damage. That is a pretty basic enchantment, and if you're going to transfer an enchantment from one object to another, it's better to do it on a very powerful enchantment. This is a pretty simple enchantment that is not worth the time or effort to transfer. You might as well just enchant the new sword.
Okay, so you could actually give us something better than this.
I could certainly enchant I could do many things that need to be enchanting. They all cost a different amount of money and a different amount of time. I'm just saying, if you want the exact same enchantment on this sword, on a different sword, you're better off just enchanting the new sword with this same enchantment instead of transferring it, and just sell this sword and recoup some of the cost.
Okay. Well, once I have my once I get my new sword, then I'll most likely come pay you another visit.
Says, are you having the sword made right now?
Yes, it is currently being made at this moment. I just placed the order, and
It's at the
they're
cutlasses right now, currently.
yeah they're
Ah, yes.
they said about 4 days time it should be ready.
He says, because enchanting an item while it is being made is a lot easier than enchanting an item that is already created. So if you are having them make the sword, I can enchant it while they are making it, and that will be easier and cost less.
That does sound pretty convenient.
So
Have
is
you
that
worked with them
something-
before, Hector?
I have not worked with them like this, but I have done business with them.
I just don't want to make, I don't want Steel Scar to, have them interrupt or ruin the work that he's asking them to do because they're not used to working with anyone else. So that's why I
He
asked.
says, of course, I would not want to get in the way of their process of making the weapon, but it is easier. It's up to you. It is easier to enchant an item that is being made than to enchant an item that's already completed, because you're able to weave the spell into every aspect of it instead of having to penetrate the object after it's already created.
Well, then I guess I might have one more a chat with the cutlasses and see about you possibly helping with enchanting it while they're working on it.
Says, yes, I would talk to them. I'm not sure how open they are to that, so you may have to do some convincing.
Yeah, I'll let them know and see what we can all work out.
It's all right. Let me know, and we can get that ball rolling. And he pulls out his little ball and rolls it.
Oof, Jesus, that's a lot.
I wanna pull out. I have my pearl that I use for identify. I'm gonna cast light on it and then roll it as well. Haha! I can do it too.
I want to join the fun, pull out a ball bearing, and cast light and roll that
Wow.
too.
So you guys are just playing with your
Playing
balls.
marbles.
We're playing marbles with our glowing balls.
All right. He picks his up and he's like, "We can just do this," and he twists it. And on, off, on, off, on, off.
Can I use sleight of hand to make mine just disappear?
Roll sleight of hand.
I'm gonna use thaumaturgy and just make
No,
mine
it's
glow
common
really bright.
15 plus what is my 5? 4. 19 for sleight of hand.
19. Yeah. Oh,
Oh,
it's impressive.
thanks.
He's like, now, this has been fun.
Yep.
I have work to do, though.
we'll
So
probably be
let me
back.
know.
Yep, we will.
Of course. All right. I look forward to seeing you. It's been a pleasure. Good luck on finding that hag's eye. If you have any questions, let me know. I would suggest talking to the people in Mire Shore to figure out what you're up against, because hags are tricky devils.
I would imagine. Yes.
Yes,
we've
so-
already gotten a map of the area to kind of figure that
Perfect.
out. So
Perfect. All right, now out, so I can do my work.
we're gone.
All right.
And
Yes.
we're gone. And I
Yes,
guess
outside.
I'll talk to you about what I want to talk to them about, because he said he could do the same, basically the same spell that I have on my sword, right?
Yes, so he said he could basically he was saying it's cheaper to enchant a sword that's being created. The enchantment on your sword, since it's just a +1 great sword,
Yes.
it's a simple enchantment. He was saying it's better just to create a new one and sell the one that you have to recoup the costs.
All right. Like, then I guess I'll talk to the cutlasses and see if they'll allow that while they're making my sword.
Steel
Okay.
Star, if they're cool with that, you should see if you could get an even stronger enchantment placed on your sword.
Yeah. I need to know prices before
Well,
I do it.
obviously, yes. Price would be a thing. Maybe we find out what the permission is, and then if everything is good with that, then we can start talking more about price.
Yeah. I think that would work.
And
And-
if the cutlasses aren't happy with that, then we could always just enchant it normally.
Yeah. I guess I will talk to them. I mean, the only issue that I have is them probably saying they wouldn't want to because of the fact that they've never made this kind of sword before, and they don't want to risk an enchantment going into something that might be a failed creation.
Mhm.
But I guess we can ask them and see what they think.
Never hurts.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
we'll do that.
You make your way to the cutlasses. We'll
Yes.
do that. This will be the last thing we do.
Yeah.
You make your way to the cutlasses. Basically, ask them if they'd be willing to allow. Who's doing the talking?
I'm doing the talking.
You're doing the talking.
He's doing
All
the
right.
talking, unfortunately.
With my sword.
if they
Before
would
we
be
go in,
willing-
though, I want to give him bardic inspiration.
Okay.
So I'm like, I
You
well,
can also use the help action. Just throwing that out there.
I can, but I don't want to.
Okay. Cool.
It's Steel
he
Star.
doesn't want to.
Okay. So yeah, you're asking them if they'd be
Yeah.
up for Hector doing that.
Yes, and I want to know what they think, especially knowing that they said that it was a risk that they were taking, making the a weapon that they've never really worked on.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a persuasion check.
All right, and what was my thingy? D10.
It's a D8 right now.
D8
Or is
for
it-
inspiration, for bardic
Oh,
inspiration.
D8. Okay, I'm gonna just roll everything at once. Oof. Okay. That's 6 on the inspiration. Uh, 28 total.
Wow. Okay.
Dang.
So you explain it to them and kind of butter them up and are talking about how you think that their skills are you think they're up for the challenge and kind of thing and
I have absolute faith in their work that they'll get it done correctly.
and they basically said they've never worked with Hector, but it would be a good opportunity to be able to do that, so they are willing to give it a shot, but they just don't want to be held responsible if it falls apart, right?
No, that's fine. No, I let them know that I understand and that I'm willing to take the risk myself. And since I already made a partial payment to it, I'm willing to go all in on it.
Okay. And they just say, basically, please work out the details with Hector, and then they'll make sure everyone's on the same page,
Yes.
and then they will work out the details of doing that work together.
All right. That sounds good. Then I guess, yeah, we'll get that worked out at the end then.
Okay. Cool. All right. Well, Elomir eventually finds you guys. And I think that's where we'll wrap up our session for tonight.
All right.
Fantastic.
Cool. Well, thank you everyone for joining us. Adventure with Advantage. I believe the plan is our next session was going to fall on 4th July. Since that's a busy weekend for everyone, I think the tentative plan was to meet on the 11th. We need to hammer out or make sure that it works for everybody, but I think that's the tentative plan. So we will back in 3 weeks with our next session. So happy 4th of July, everybody.
Happy 4th of July, folks.
And we'll see you all then. Thank you so much for joining us.
Huzzah!
Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye bye, folks.
Bye bye.